Hello, this is Art Johnson, and welcome to another program of Books for a New World. This is a series that we're doing of books that are in our New World virtual bookstore um, online on our website. And these have made a difference in our lives or continue to make a difference in my life. And the book that I really want to talk about today is this gorgeous little gifty little book called The Abundance Book by John Randolph Price. It's not a new book. It's actually was originally published in 1987 and then reissued in 1996. But it's an amazing book. Um, for those of you who are asking the question, how can I be more prosperous? And, I've been talking off and on about this whole idea of new thought business development or spiritual economics, or how do you actually use the idea of the science of mind in a way that you can flow prosperity. And this book is just an amazing little book. Its organization is really, really neat. It includes actually a 40-day prosperity plan with some affirmations that you can read to yourself. And I've actually read them into my cell phone, which are really, really great because they resonate in your own voice. And this is all about vibration and energy. And the first part of the book is a great part one. They're actually, there are four major parts to the book. The first part traces the principle of self-sufficiency from the beginning of time, and it is really a great little synopsis. He does an expert job of taking a whole vast amount of knowledge that you've heard about The Secret and all that. Well, he gets into the whole prosperity principle and takes it in and really does a great job and explains how people kind of knew that. The early Christians kind of knew it. The Buddhists knew it, but the early Christians knew it until they reinvented the Bible and took some of that stuff out because they were so worried that the people would get too much power from the church. So it's really, really good. That's the first part one. And then part two actually goes through his 40-day prosperity plan, which has, it's just amazing. It uses meditations. You actually read each one of these statements and then meditate on them for 15 minutes. And you basically accept your good. We'll talk about that, but you're basically your consciousness of you as you and through you is actually your supply. And once you believe in this and really do this, this sets up a whole energy flow that can result and does result in the manifestation of the material prosperity that you are resonating. And he talks about, so that's the prosperity plan. And the statements are really, really great because this is all about abundance. And so I'll just read you the first one, which is just starts off, it's very short. It says, God is lavish, unfading abundance, the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe. This all-providing source of infinite prosperity is individualized as me, the reality of me in a big R. The one I really like also is the one on number 4. And what you do is over every day, you go through one of these, or a series of them, statements of the principle of self-sufficiency. Here's number 4. Through my consciousness of my God self, the Christ within, as my source, I draw unto my mind and feeling nature the very substance of spirit. The substance is my supply. Thus, my consciousness of the presence of God within me is my supply. Now that's wild, because this is more about being, and then the doing happens as part of this whole principle of this prosperity of all sufficiency. And it comes through intuitive inspiration and through right thinking and right action. You don't sit there by any means, but this energizes you in such a way that it opens up whole new doorways of acceptance of your good, and of which then gets manifested as material good or money. And so he talks about that, and then he goes into that's the 40-day prosperity plan, and you practice gratitude, and you basically accept your good as is right now, even though it hasn't been manifested yet. It's on its way by the energy. And rather than focus on the money that even the money that you have or don't have, you really want to focus on the idea of money as, and he calls it, this is really good, and he does this in part 3, my own natural energy yield. So it's an effect. And he really gets into the idea that you are the cause as well as the effect, as a result of you focusing your energy on your truth, which is your essential essence, which is spiritual in nature. And everything that you see around you is a manifestation of spirit. And this spirit is continually creating. And once you plug into that flow, this is the same one consciousness that created everything, your whole experience, the world, the universe, the planets, unlimited creativity. You are part of that individualized expression. Wow. This, just talking about this book, just gets you just so turned on in terms of that. Then he goes into he's written several books, and after you kind of do this, and you talk about this whole idea of money as my own natural energy yield, really great, focusing on the cause, not the effect, and then the effect happens. And I'm doing this, I'm doing a class, I'm doing a course where I'm taking this $2.99 software mobile video app for my phone, and by focusing into my mind, it is possible to learn how to produce $29 million HD video content that deals with issues like this. So, it's like the question is, the paintbrush is not the Rembrandt, but once the Rembrandt is there, wow, there's a lot of value. So this book is great for that. And he just talks about, he has a thing called the part 4 is the prosperity compilation, or compilation. And he just talks about, and it's from his other books. He has a book called From the Super Beings. And he really says the abundant life for each individual is the will of God. God is the source of all prosperity and whatever, providing us with whatever we need in abundant measure. Money itself will not necessarily make a person happy, but a prosperity consciousness will bring forth poise, confidence, contentment, peace, joy, freedom from the fear of lack, in addition to tangible supply. So anyway, he just goes on, and there are about 3 or 4 different excerpts that even a prosperity checklist you can go through for this book. I highly recommend this book. If you are, and it's so great, it's like portable. You can keep it in your pocket, and it's elegantly written. There are no wasted words in this little book. It gets right to the essence of what I'm calling New Thought business development, which I am practically applying myself. I can't get too much into it because it says you keep that as a secret, but I know many of you are on the path. So in my giving this, I wanted to share this with you. So thanks a lot for watching another episode of Books for a New World. And get this little book. Guess what? How much it costs? $17. You can get it online at my New World virtual bookstore, and probably the shipping will cost you more, or as much as a little book from Amazon. But this is a priceless little jewel of a book. Thank you so much. Bye.